Hello and welcome to today's episode of Platinum Talks Wealth. Emmy-nominated journalist Jennifer Rogers Markwell changed gears in her television career when she realized the need to help women make sense of investing. She regularly hosts educational workshops to empower women and others to take charge of their financial future. Now, join your host, Platinum Wealth Management President Jennifer Rogers Markwell, as she leads us into the world of money memories, money infidelities, and how these can mold our relationship with our personal finances as adults. Let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, and thanks for spending some time with us. It's Jennifer Rogers Markwell, and you're joining us on the Platinum Talks Wealth podcast. Today, I'm joined by Rebecca Meyers.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. Well, so big question is, tell us all about you and why you do what you do.
Well, I am an acne specialist. I have been an acne specialist for 18 years, and I got into that because I had acne and I still do. And it's been a fascinating journey of figuring out how to conquer acne. There's a lot of myths out there, and I've really made it into a science. And it's a lot of fun working with people and helping them clear their skin. But the best part about it is empowering, especially women, men too, of course, but empowering women to feel beautiful and helping them gain their self-confidence back. So it goes so much deeper than skin. And I have a local practice in Anchorage, Alaska, where I live. And then I have just recently developed an app, a whole entire app called the Acne Coach that I use to treat across the country virtually.
Fascinating. How did you get on that path? I mean, were you a little girl and you're like, this is what I'm going to do? Like, how did that work?
No, this is not what I was going to do at all. Not at all. I wanted to be a business person, a CEO of a company. Actually, I am now in a roundabout way. But no, I had acne. And it was horrible. And I tried everything. This is when I was a teenager. I went to dermatologists and I went to medical estheticians, you name it. I tried it all. And nothing was able to help me. So I had to take matters into my own hands. And I became a licensed esthetician and then eventually a certified acne specialist. And along the way, I found out I had had acne for 15 years, pretty bad. Not fun at all. Horrible, really. And I cleared it in 8 weeks. And it was such a part of me that I literally didn't believe it. So I had to test that on 10 people, 10 of my clients at the time. And it worked on all 10. And the rest is history. And I just figured out a very specific method that really helps. I mean, I've made it, like I said, I've made it into a science. I don't like to give people false hope and not deliver. So anyway, that's what I've been doing for a really long time, in 18 years, and I still absolutely love my business. And it's the fourth business that I've had, actually, and the only one that I really gravitated toward and stuck with.
I remember being younger, and I think everybody has this story that you didn't have the best self-esteem in that moment because your skin was not the most fantastic in that moment. And a game changer to have somebody be able to literally put their best face forward in a situation because they feel beautiful and worthy and, seen.
Very much so. And it's really hard to figure out the answer to acne. It's a frustrating, hopeless journey for most, as it was for me. It's still that way today. There's so much misinformation. And so when people come to me, they can be assured I will help them. And we deal with severe, like we're talking severe acne. So it's transformative. It's such an honor to have this job, really, and be able to have an answer for this.
Yeah. And very neat from the perspective of, you said you wanted to be a CEO. There's working on your business and working on your business. And so owning a business, I feel like people think is very glamorous, which it can be for sure. But there's a lot of things that go in behind the scenes of like buying your pens, buying paper, paying taxes,
cleaning, tax, exactly, bookkeeping. Oh, I've done it. I've done it all. That might be one of my limitations, I think, is the belief that I have to do it all. So I've literally done it all. And I was thinking, skincare, calming, beautiful setting. Awesome. It's going to be great. And I wasn't prepared for the stress of scheduling and keeping there were stressors. That said, it's a fantastic job. I mean, I absolutely still love it.
And it sounds like more of a lifestyle even than a job for you, right?
It is. It's more like fun. I mean, I don't come to work to work. I get to spend time with people. It's psychology. It's just incredible.
Yeah, I feel the same way about what I do and the psychology behind it too, because
Oh,
I feel like I do wear a lot of hats. I mean, financial advisor, financial planner, wealth manager, psychologist in many cases too.
yes.
And the reason I started this podcast, which I think that you know this, is I was
Mhm.
hearing the common thread amongst clients of money memories and financial infidelities. So
Mhm.
with money memories, what's a money memory that you had as a younger person or as a child that helped mold your relationship to money as an adult?
I spend a lot of time thinking about this as I listen to this question you ask your guests, and I've tried to find the typical trigger and the money wound. And really, what I think mine really is my parents are incredible entrepreneurs, and they raised us as such. And from the time I was young, I was taught to in if you want something, create a business and make the money. And I was taught early on that money is freedom, and there was always enough, but it was not given to us. It was, how do you want to make it? Let's my dad was so great. Let's build a business, let's make that money and get what you want. And and so I have a very healthy and positive memory of money and experience with money up until my current life or current day. But what I did notice, the wound about that is that I couldn't find a lot of people that would relate to that, women especially. I felt isolated. I mean, I was like this all through high school. And it was just a part of me that I had to close off and almost ashamed about, to be honest. I
Wow.
feel even now talking about it out with you, I do feel a little bit of shame. Like, you shouldn't talk so positively about money when so many people don't feel that way. And my observation is the same as yours. There's so much wounding. And I didn't experience that. I think money is fun and you can create it and it works for you. But I felt very isolated.
That's
Um,
fascinating.
still do feel isolated.
So you're the first person that I've had in the past, year and a half plus of doing the podcast that has said that. And
Yeah.
I think that, definitely you have a valid reason of thinking that you're kind of on your own island to a certain extent because most people didn't have that same upbringing where they were given financial literacy at a young age.
A fortunate experience, but like I said, very isolated. I would talk to my girlfriends about it and they'd be like, like it was weird. They didn't feel that way. It was almost taboo. And so it became a wound. It really did become a wound in a way. It's benefited my life privately. I think money is a beautiful tool to be used. But it's so private. I mean, I don't talk about it with people.
You know, that is the reason why we're here, right? That
Yeah.
is 100% the reason why we're here because I want this to be a safe space for everyone to share their
Right.
experiences so we can all learn for those. I mean,
Right.
hearing what you have experienced, like someone else, I'm sure out there will be like, yes, absolutely. That's been my experience too. And I
Yeah.
think being able to, have a seat at the table and have these conversations, regardless, because everybody's different,
Yeah.
right? Like, thank you for sharing that because that's a big deal. And especially for you to have a positive experience, but then also feel that as a wound.
I really truly do. I'm thankful for it, of course, but I have felt wounding with it.
Do you feel like it's evolved though? Do you feel like you're more open to share now? I mean, what does
Well,
that look like from your perspective?
here I am talking with you, and that's why I love your podcast so much. My whole world is skincare, and I feel so boxed in by that at times, but I'm so drawn to listening to your conversations with others because I can relate to all of them in some way.
Do you think that you've evolved? I mean, do you think
Oh,
that so the narrative was good for you? You didn't have to
yeah.
necessarily change the narrative, but I mean, having a healthier relationship to share your own narrative, which is healthy and great. But
Yeah.
where are you at now?
I do. I feel that it is the truth, and I don't have to have shame in talking about it. And gosh, if anything, it can help. Hopefully it would help somebody maybe see money from a different perspective. It's how I raise my children. I mean, they're going to have a very different relationship with money, just because of what they see and what I tell them. Money is your friend and things like that. Money works for you. I'm like doing the brain programming when they're young,
Yeah.
because that stuff really works. And it's going to be fascinating to see how they grow up with those mindsets.
What a gift, though. What a gift that you're able to provide them, that they can
Mhm.
see money as something that's a tool, something that's renewable, something that they
Right?
can create a business and grow
Yes.
and do. Like, that is
And
a
it's
gift.
and it's limitless. It's money is I mean, you have to work for these things, and it is mindset, but truly money is neutral. It's just our perception of it. And a lot of that comes back to the wounding. And so many people have money wounds. Um, it would be amazing if we all just knew money was nothing but energy and neutral, and worked on mindset shifts so we could accomplish anything. I love to always say, one of my favorite things to say is, instead of I can't have that, this is what I do with myself all the time. I change it to how can I? And how can I? And that changes everything, because our brains like to find solutions to things. And every time I do that, I just did that with a really big financial thing a couple weeks ago. And it went from no to how can I? And everything comes together. Your brain figures out, things open up. When you think that way, you can accomplish anything. How can I changes everything.
There is huge power in that. In
Yeah.
our household, we say what you think about, you bring about. So if
Yes.
you were thinking, in what could be perceived as a negative or not serving you manner, right, then it's not going to serve you. But
Yeah.
if you're thinking like in a positive, like, how is this going to happen? How am I navigating? Or, saying, yes, I'm on this path. Like,
Yes.
that's where the magic happens, truly.
Yes. I completely agree. Completely.
My stepdaughter, so I've shared this story before, but my stepdaughter, when she was little, I wanted to make sure that she was going to be financially sound and at a young
Mhm.
age. And I came into her life when she was 3. So, gosh, she was, I think, 4 when she did this. So we started going very slow with like teaching her kind of the 101s of like, this is
Mhm.
a Roth, this is how you want to save.
Yeah.
And we started with stocks very, very slowly with her. And so we got her like
Mhm.
a share of Disney. And so she knew,
Mhm.
because she had buying, because she liked Disney, and Disney was like her thing when she was little. And I remember
Perfect.
going to Disney with her when she might have been barely 5. And she's like, I own this place. I own it all. And we're like, well, you
I've
don't
heard
really
that.
own it, right? But you do own a piece of it, and you have a stock. And
Yeah.
so she giggles about it now. She's 14, but she giggles about it now because she's like, oh yeah. She's like, let me explain how that works. And it's that just cool thing where you want
Yeah.
better for your kids, and you want
Yes.
them to be, more self-sufficient and stronger and have a better
Yes.
outlook on things. And it's the coolest thing. And that you're doing that with your kids too.
I mean, they're young. My oldest is 6, and we haven't I'll see how this plays out. But truly, my husband and I do not do the money stress at home. We just are a very positive, we have a positive relationship, and we've had ups and downs. We've done some investments that have gone the wrong way, but we don't allow stress.
You are listening to the Platinum Talks Wealth podcast.
Hey, it's Jennifer. I wanted to take a quick break to remind you that you are worthy to have a seat at the table when it comes to money and your finances. Both me and my team at Platinum Wealth Management, want to meet you where you are, whether you're starting out, starting over, or have been investing for years. Reach out to us at platinumwealth.net or call us at 775-717-0001. We'd be honored to help.
And now, back to the podcast.
We know ahead of time that's something that can happen with investments, and so be it. That was our choice. It's a risk you take. And I just hope that they pick up on that.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. And you mentioned a Roth, and I would like to start that for my children too. They have to work for it. So I plan to do it this year, like set up my daughter with a Roth IRA.
But if she's doing an allowance, if she's cleaning, if she's bussing
Exactly.
tables, like
I have a
whatever it is.
business. She can pick out my Instagram outfits. I mean, I will come up with ways, because we can put 7,000 into that for her. And if we do that and then most importantly, she will have work ethic. She will work for
Yes.
that money. It's
Yeah.
not going to be put in there for nothing. If she doesn't make the 7,000, it won't go in. And that's the most important thing, is that's how you earn money. And then you let that money grow.
100%. So, yeah, we've really instilled that too. So she has a job, and it's cute because she's always helped me with client events. So she'll come and she'll do whatever, and I pay her for the hours that she's there.
Right.
So now she has another job where she's working at a water park, and it's cute because she's doing like cute's not the right word, but it's awesome because she's doing cashiering. And for her, she's like, oh, I really like these shorts, but those shorts are 4 hours of me working. So watching her kind of like think of it as, wow, that's 4 hours of my time that I worked really hard for. And that's the equivalent of what this would be. That's fine. And that's her choice. But she's clicking things together where she's seeing things financially in a big picture.
And that's a big click that I don't think a lot of people get, is putting hours. That's how it all starts, is putting hours on into these things that you want. It's not just look in the bank account and go shopping. That's actually a huge point. Yeah, that's a really good one. Actually, I'm gonna be sure I pass that on to my kids too.
Yeah, we're a work in progress, right? I feel like we're learning as we're going with everything. So
yeah, it's true.
So another thing we talk about are financial infidelities. What's an infidelity that you've experienced or that you've witnessed that you think others could learn from along the way?
Well, one happened more recently. My husband and I invest in real estate long term. It's like a long-term, slow build game. And I got the idea originally from Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it resonated with me so strongly when I was 19. And now we're doing that, and it's all come to fruition, and our rentals pay for our mortgage and all the things he said. And it's just awesome, passive income. But during the pandemic, we had this opportunity to get into house flipping in Austin, Texas. And a partner approached us, and we kind of pooled our money together, and we did great. Like we strayed from our long-term slow build plan, and we went into the flipping, which is quick money, which I don't really believe in. And my husband doesn't either. It's funny that we did this. I think we were bored and we just wanted something to do. So we did it, and it was really good for the first 3 houses, really good. And the last 2 totally bombed. And now we are stuck with a $1 million Airbnb. We had to turn it into an Airbnb in Austin, Texas that won't sell, has lost all of the value. Our money's stuck there. And I mean, quite frankly, we deserve it. I mean, we should not have probably done that. It just confirms that I do not believe in quick money. And so that would be an infidelity because we strayed from our plan. Yeah, we took a chance, but I think we both knew better, but we were just like, let's find out what would happen, or what's going to happen. Seemed good on paper, but it was very costly. This guy was a great designer. He had XYZ under his belt. Our partner knew him. It was fast. And again, that's kind of a red flag. So anyway, it's still an infidelity because we're stuck with this and we don't know what's going to happen with the house. But yeah, that was a big one.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I mean, when you hear these infidelities, it's such a raw, vulnerable moment for a lot of folks because you're sharing off the cuff. And the hope is someone else will hear this and learn from it along the way.
Yeah, learn from it or feel validated. They might have made the same mistake also. I have a positive attitude about it because, again, that's part of being an entrepreneur and taking risks. But I think in hindsight, we would have known better. It was just such a big thing going on during COVID, and there was some opportunity for a minute and then it was gone. Yeah, but I think that's true of house flipping. I think that's just why I was never drawn to that to begin with.
And COVID had a weird psychology behind it too, right? In that moment, I think people saw their lives as potentially short. And at that point, were you willing to take maybe more risks than you would on a normal basis because COVID was just so weird and no one knew, right?
Right. It was so weird. We went into some time zone. I mean, nothing was normal, and the interest rates were crazy, which boosted the false real estate market falsely. And yeah, it all makes sense now.
Well, thank you for sharing. I do appreciate that.
Mhm.
So as we start to wrap the conversation, one thing I like to ask is what are tips and or tricks that you personally utilize in your family and your household, to look at money differently or to utilize money differently?
Well, I think I touched on one earlier, and that is, we really don't balance a checkbook or we don't budget, I guess I should say. I have it in my brain, if that's believable. I really do. And so it exists there. So I don't write things down and pass it along. I watch my numbers closely. It's all in my head. But like I said, we do spend a lot of time s- using positive words about money. Um, and talking about how, well, my daughter, so her language is money is your friend, and money, especially money will work for you. I think that's the big one. I think that's where so many people think it's the opposite. Money can absolutely work for you. So there's that. Um, another big one is pay off credit cards. Always. My parents taught me that. I have always paid off my credit cards. That's huge. You can get into massive credit card debt, expensive credit card debt really, really easily if you don't just make that commitment and stick with it.
I think you touched on a couple times in our conversation is money is a tool.
Yeah, it
Money,
is.
personally, like money shouldn't be your God, but money should be
No,
a tool that you can utilize to live the life that you want to live.
money's freedom. Money to me is freedom, completely freedom. I learned that when I was 16. And even though I had great parents and a great family, I wanted to be free when I was 18. And how did I have to do that? By earning money. And so I've always associated not for buying things necessarily, but for freedom. I never wanted like to marry a guy and have him support me. Never. My husband has never supported me. And I love that. It makes me feel so good about myself. I feel in control and I feel limitless, basically.
That's
So,
huge. And one thing that we actually, when East was little, we said a man is not your financial plan, right?
yes.
A man is not your financial plan. I want you to be self-sufficient, do your thing, and I want you to work hard and enjoy what you're doing and make a difference in whatever that looks like in this world.
Yeah. And that's so important because I think a lot of women absorb that. A lot of women that I know absorb that. And no, a man is not when you can do it yourself. Then you're dependent on someone. That's never a fun thing.
No, and then honestly, you have a partner if you choose. Like it's your choice, and back to that freedom and back to the money is your friend.
It's very empowering. Yeah.
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 Well, gosh, thank you so much for making time and sharing today. I so appreciate it.
I appreciate this too. Thank you so much. Really great to talk to you.
Oh, you too. And hopefully those of you watching or listening will join us on the next Platinum Talks Wealth podcast.
If you enjoyed today's podcast, Platinum Talks Wealth, please subscribe and share. For more information about Jennifer Rogers Markwell or Platinum Wealth Management, please visit www.platinumwealth.net. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member of FINRA and SIPC. The opinions voiced in this podcast are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. The guest speakers and their companies are not affiliated with or endorsed by LPL Financial or Platinum Wealth Management.